Let's go. The Badgers land a big-time defensive back commit. We're going to break it down next. They stay hot on the recruiting trail on a quick and short Locked On Badgers.
You are Locked On Badgers, your daily podcast on the Wisconsin Badgers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is going to be a quick show, a short show, but an important show. Thank you for making Locked On Badgers one of your first sources for all your Badger news. Listen, I wanted to get a show out. I know the draft is coming up. We're going to have post-draft coverage. I got some interviews coming up, but I didn't want this to get lost in the shuffle. So we're going to do a quick show. Not going to be long, but this is important. The Badgers stay hot on the recruiting trail. Jace Arnold commits to the team. This is a big one, guys. There's a reason that I wanted to get a quick thing out there. Jace Arnold is a 5'10", 180-pound, 170-pound cornerback out of Marietta, Georgia. He is a composite. If you don't know what the composite is, by the way, no worries. What the composite is 247 does this thing where they basically group all the recruiting services together and get a composite ranking. So it's 247, it's ESPN, it's Rivals, and it's ON3, which is a new one. So his composite ranking is an 88. 247 has him as a 90, which is a 4-star. This is a 4-star or incredibly high 3-star out-of-state cornerback. That's a big deal, guys. That's a big deal, everybody. Big, big deal. It matters. This is one of the places Wisconsin has to recruit better. Jace Arnold coming in, and he has reported offers from Florida, from Georgia. And now, again, we all know how the offer game works. Not every offer thrown out there is legitimate. Not every offer thrown out there is committable. But this is a really legit defensive back prospect with big-time athleticism from a big-time area of the country with real – so here's the thing. Even if the Georgia offer isn't committable right now, having the Georgia interest in a reported offer, it's like a check mark. It's like a check mark, right? Like this guy, the mid and low tier 3-star guys don't get even that kind of tertiary Georgia offer, that kind of offer with strings attached, whatever you want to call it. This is a big get. This is a big, big get. We did a show a while ago where we talked about the difference between Wisconsin and Ohio State and why Wisconsin struggles so much. And it comes down to corners, receivers, and quarterbacks. That's it. I mean, there's other tertiary things here and there. It's depth, it's coaching at times, but it's mostly corners, receivers, quarterbacks. Jace Arnold is not – listen, he's not a 5-star guy that Ohio State gets, but he's an uptick for Wisconsin. And you don't have to close the gap completely, right? You don't have to match them, but you have to close it somewhat. Jace Arnold, big-time athlete, special teams guy. He's returning kicks on film. I think he's a person who can have that type of skill set in college as well. From an athletic standpoint, fast, short area quickness, tough. His huddle film of his man-to-man coverage skills, like he is really good. He's there like Velcro, understands where the sideline is, forces people out of bounds. He's for a shorter back, for a shorter defensive back, for kind of a guy who's not a big thumper. He's physical. He'll come up and hit somebody. This is a good one. This is if you're paying attention to Wisconsin recruiting, this is one of those that should raise your eyebrows a little bit because he breaks the mold a little bit of what Wisconsin has gotten recently from the cornerback position. And low-key, there's a couple other difference makers out there, right? Low-key, Braden Marshall, to me, is similar to Jace Arnold as well. You get those two guys in this class, and I think Wisconsin sits really well with Braden Marshall. You get those two dudes in this class and pair them up with a Khalil Tate who's still out there. This is about as good a Wisconsin recruiting class in the secondary as you're going to find in a while. So big-time commit, Jace Arnold jumping on board. Again, this is not a long show, but I want to talk about it a little bit. 5'10" guy out of Marietta, Georgia. Big-time offer list, borderline 4-star cornerback. Wisconsin does not get many of those people. Jim Leonard coming in, Hank Poteet, really good job getting in him on early, hitting a home run on the official visit. Jace Arnold committed. And I think Braden Marshall's out there as well. This could be a really good defensive back class for Wisconsin. So appreciate everyone listening, tuning in for just a short, quick one. We're going to talk more about Jace Arnold coming up. I'm going to have John Garcia, the Sports Illustrated recruiting director, on. We're going to talk Jace Arnold and probably Tretch Kekahuna with him and the Hawaii pipeline. So some good stuff coming up with John Garcia. But I did want to throw my quick thoughts out there on Jace. Big time commit. I'm excited to have him on board. I'm going to try to get him on the show as well. And the Wisconsin recruiting class is coming together pretty nicely here.